Mark Robertson, it shows how much the players care and the coaching staff as well at the moment, because it was a late session in terms of players and coaching staff staying back at Plough Lane the other night.
You know, people question the players, but no, we left at midnight after the game, and that was because, you know, the six of the players stayed back and wanted to talk. That doesn't mean the others don't care. The others were there for long enough, but six of them stayed back, and they just wanted to talk through, you know, how we can improve. You know, they believe there's been a huge improvement in lots of things, but obviously, you know, the things that we lacked on Tuesday, they wanted to talk about and what we can do moving forward. So, you know, we sat and we had a long discussion about all manner of things, which is great because it gets me to talk to them about how I see things. Yeah, so, you know, that's why I know they care, like genuinely care, and they want to get out of where we are, and that's what I believe we will.
But that's very constructive as well, isn't it? That's the shift in mindset. I mean, it's the squad coming to you now with looking to do this.
Rob, you can't make people perform unless you know them and know what they're thinking. And, you know, and I know this is all longer term stuff, and I realise we've got a short term problem right now to get out of. But, you know, you need to know what people are thinking. You can't change them or empower them or make them see things differently if they don't open up and talk to you. So, you know, did that bring us 3 points on Tuesday night? But for me, it's just another game moving forward.
I guess we're looking for a positive response this Saturday against Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, always looking for a positive response, Rob. You know, I'm looking for a positive response even when we win games. That's it. It's today we've come in and we've gone through, you know, a lot of the game where we need to be more effective. But at the same time, it's really key that we don't get knee-jerk and we look at the things that we've done well. And there are lots of little things that we've done well, that we've improved on, that people might not notice, that I don't want to reveal now, but that we do a lot better. So, you know, it's so important we don't get knee-jerk and we make sure that we still have that decent framework. But obviously it was quite evident the other night on the things that need to be better to carry more of a threat. But by the same token, you know, you have to give them some respect. They'd won 5 out of 6 before they played us for a reason. They brought in 11 new players, and they were very organised, and, you know, they worked very hard. So, you know, there were positives in it.
Still plenty of points to play for, of course, many games to be played. What would be your message to the supporters at this stage? Yeah,
just, you know, stay positive and stay with us. You know, we've taken 8 points from 7. That's obviously not as many as I would like. We would want more than that. But the reason where we are isn't because we've taken 8 points from 7 games. It's because previously we took 2 from 33, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's just a fact. So you know, I think the fact that we've taken 8 from 7 shows that we can take points. And as I said, with the way we're working on processes, I believe there's plenty more points to come and that we're getting.
What areas have you been able to concentrate on in between games? Because there's only a short period of time in between, isn't there?
Yeah, and you know, that is the issue, and I don't like to make excuses about anything, so it's not an excuse. That is the only slight issue, is with the turnaround times. You don't get loads of time, but I spoke to Chris and Tim, you know, from our medical and sports science department, and said, look, I need to get the lads out at least to do some walkthroughs today, and that's happened. So, you know, we did get out there to do some shape work, and, you know, to take the meeting that we had this morning about carrying a threat onto the pitch. So at least now, tomorrow, I'm not going over it completely fresh. They know what I'm looking at. So however length of time we get tomorrow on the pitch, they can go straight into it. So yeah, it's just making sure that we use the time we've got together really wisely, and that's what we're doing.
Now, it's the focus at the moment, obviously, for yourself, of course, on Bristol Rovers, but for the likes of Tim and Chris and Gonzalo as well, your backroom team. How far ahead do they get to plan in terms of this unprecedented times already? Yeah, I mean, that's the staff's job. The staff, you know, the players' job is to come in and look at no more than one day at a time, not even a game at a time. It's about coming every single day and being learners and being the best you can be every single day. That's their role. Our job is to make sure that we're prepared to give them that knowledge and that environment where they're thriving. Obviously, with the medical team, etc., they're always looking ahead, because they know that we, you know, with the schedule that we've got coming up and the way that I want the players to play, that we've got to have as many players fit and able as possible. You've showed the games as well, of course, with substitutions you've made, that you're not afraid to make big decisions early on to try and affect a game. that would apply also with the games we've got coming up, if you have to do that with starting lineups as well again.
Yeah, no, completely. You know, this is about winning football matches, and it's nothing personal. The lads know it's nothing personal. I've got a great relationship with all of them. You know, they're disappointed. I've had meetings this morning with players that are disappointed, but that's a positive. I'd be worried if they weren't knocking on my door saying that they want to play. But at the same time, I've got to make sure their perception of what I believe is a top performance is the same as mine. Sorry, their perception is the same as mine. So, you know, when we do that by showing them clips, etc., and showing where I think they need to improve. But everyone needs to improve. You know, that's an ongoing thing. But no, I'm certainly not worried about having those conversations.
Another positive aspect as well, of course, is the development squad won 5-1 against Cambridge United on Tuesday as well.
Yeah.
What were you able to take from that game?
Yeah, no, I watched that last night because, as I said, you know, you as well as focusing on the here and now, I've got to have an eye on the bigger picture, and they're very much part of the bigger picture. So I watched that game last night, and they were excellent. Their work rate's phenomenal, their communication's phenomenal. So, you know, when you get that, even when you get things wrong, it doesn't matter. So, you know, it's funny because some of them come back and said, or they thought, you know, didn't think the opposition were as good as what they'd expected. I said, no way, you just didn't give them a chance to breathe. So, no, really, really positive with not just the young lads from the academy, but also the young players. You know, so Dan, for example, Dan, who I believe will be, you know, is going to be a part of our future. Great attitude, and he put in an excellent performance playing on the right-hand side as well. So, no, it was really pleasing.
That's really good to hear. What sort of team is it you've got in terms of for Saturday, though?
Yeah, we're looking okay. There's a couple of little niggles here and there, but the main one is Ethan's probably just coming in. I hate saying that phrase, comes too early, but yeah, probably he's going to come a little bit too early for Ethan, although he was out training today. We've just got to see how he reacts. So, but if he's not ready for Saturday, then he'll be ready for Tuesday.
And it's an Achilles problem that can be resolved, yeah?
Yeah, it's just that. If it keeps flaring up, you're going to end up not having him. So we'd rather it settle down properly and have him for long term than keep trying to patch him up and then he's in one and he's out one. So it's just being patient with him.
We usually come into these previews as well and we talk about the opposition and how we've done against them in previous games, but yet again, change of manager at Bristol Rovers, Joey Barton having gone in there now. What are we expecting on this occasion?
No, you're spot on. It's just like the other night. That was completely irrelevant as well. You know, they had 11 new players, and a new manager. So, yeah, completely different test. You know, we've had a good look at them and the threats they offer, and like always, we've had a bigger look at them in terms of what we can do to hurt them. So, yeah, it has no relevance, Rob. You know, to be honest, most games I think don't. You know, we take each game on an individual basis anyway. So.